This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's Tuesday, which means a top 5 list, and you've seen the thumbnail and you've read the title, so you know what we're going to talk about. Basically, a few weeks ago, I did a video where I was talking about 5 songs that, whenever they come on the radio, I always crank the volume up a little bit. I like these songs, but curiously, I don't own a copy of them. Or, well, I probably do because I've got Spotify Premium, so I own every piece. Well, I've got access to every piece of music imaginable. But, you know, I've never owned a hard copy of these songs. And that proved to be a successful video, so it wasn't a huge effort to come up with another 5. These are all songs that, even though I don't possess, to the best of my knowledge, a copy of any of them, when I'm sat here editing videos and doing various bits and pieces on that PC over there, I often have the radio on this machine here. And whenever any of these songs come on, just inch the volume up just a little bit because I really like them. Let's see what they are.
Show Me Heaven by Maria McKee.
Yes, Maria McKee. I first heard of Maria McKee as the lead vocalist in a band called Lone Justice. Now I do have that first. What did they do? More than one album? The album that I know from Lone Justice is called, well, I think it's called After the Flood, perhaps. But I know the big song off that was Ways to Be Wicked, I believe, written by Mike Campbell of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. But anyway, I digress. Maria went on to have a solo career, and I shouldn't really like this song at all. It's just a big sort of... It was from the 90s, I think, but it's got that sort of big 80s schmaltzy Whitney Houston kind of power ballad sort of thing going on. And that's not usually the kind of thing I go for, but I really, really love her voice on this. It's just such an emotive vocal performance. The song itself comes from some Tom Cruise movie. What was the one where he was a racing driver? I don't think it was the one where he was the barman or cocktail shaker. It was some forgettable Tom Cruise film. I used to work at the time. I was working in a factory. Well, I was working in, not the factory, but the lab that was the test lab. I was a lab technician where the lab was part of a factory, and they used to have the radio piped through the tannoy in the factory, and whenever this song used to come on, I was used to just listen that little bit harder. You had no control over the volume of the factory tannoy, obviously, and then at some inopportune moment, there'd be an announcement coming over the tannoy about production line 5, back to your stations please, or something like that. But yeah, I really love this song. I don't know why I don't own a copy of it. It's a really great song. I always turn the radio up when it comes on. There you go. Next.
Sit Down by James.
The first of a couple of songs that I'm going to talk about today, where I was in a band at the time, and this was like the early 90s, I think, and you know, I really like this song. I just think it's a good, catchy pop, rock, guitar, pop song. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing at all, you know, kind of pretentious about it. There's nothing, it's not, you know, setting its stall out to try and be something groundbreaking. It's just a good, catchy, hooky song, and you know, it adapts well to playing. Well, doesn't adapt well. It is played on guitar. And the band I was in at the time, I lobbied like hell to put this in the set, but I didn't get my own way, unfortunately. And the thing is, you know, being in a band, you go and see other bands on the same kind of circuit that you're playing, and every band that was playing this song was having a great time with it. You know, audiences loved it, but I seem to remember it was the bass player, possibly, who wasn't fully into the idea of covering this one. Don't know why, but we never got to do it. And I still, as I say, I love this song. Whenever it comes on the radio, up goes the volume. It's just a good, feel-good, up-tempo, catchy pop song, and there's nothing at all wrong with that. Next.
Stop by Sam Brown.
Yes, back to my days working in the lab at the factory. This was another song that came out round about the same time. I think this was Sam Brown's debut single. Sam Brown, I've spoken about her on the channel before. It's really tragic, really, because she had such a gorgeous voice. The latter part of her career, she ended up singing with Jules Holland's Rhythm and Blues Orchestra, and then had some throat illness or something, and she's completely unable to sing, apparently, after recovering from that. She has no control. She can't pitch her voice, which gives her the same sort of singing ability as me, if I'm honest. Every band I've ever been in, right? Rehearsal. It's you get to a rehearsal and say, "Can we get some backing vocals off you, John?" "Yes, no problem," I say. And then next rehearsal, there's never a mic set up for me. So, the only way I'll carry a tune is in a bucket. But, unfortunately, for such a talented lady to lose that beautiful singing voice that she had is a tragedy. And this was her debut single, and I remember it being on that Tannoy radio when I was working at the factory in the lab many, many times, and just a great emotive performance. Real kind of, what they used to call a torch song, I believe. Just a real kind of gutsy female slow blues soul kind of performance. If you're not familiar with the song or any of them, then I put links to them all down in the description, but go and check that one out, especially if it's new to you. Next.
Mary's Prayer by Danny Wilson.
This one takes me back even further in time, back from the early 90s into the late 80s. There was a little bit of a thing around about that time, a nascent sort of revival of the singer-songwriter kind of thing. I think Mark Cohen was around about that sort of, or Mark Cohen, what was he called? The guy who did Walking in Memphis originally before Cher got her hands on it. And I thought Danny Wilson was just one of the kind of slew of singer-songwriters coming out. Turns out there is no such person as Dan. Well, there is, obviously. Somewhere in the world there's going to be somebody called Daniel Wilson whose friends call him Danny. But, in the context of this band, there is no Danny Wilson in the band. It was just a name that they thought up to give the band for some reason. I don't know. What was beer involved? I wouldn't rule it out. But yeah, this is just a great little kind of bittersweet pop song. Kind of sort of a retrospective look back at, kind of a finished relationship, that's the impression I get from the song. But it's just a good catchy melody, nice lyrics, good singing, great, we're not talking kind of Paul Rodgers or Pavarotti here, but it's a nicely performed song. And for some reason, maybe it's just the nostalgia factor for me, taking me back to my college days. I don't know, but occasionally this song comes on the greatest hits or gold or magic radio station that I've got on at any given time, and it's just okay. Let's kind of wind the volume up there a little bit and listen to this. Stop what I'm doing on that machine there, and just waste a bit of time listening to the rest of this song. Next,
Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue Something.
Yeah, this is the other one from the mid-90s. Again, this was a different band, but I wanted to do this song here, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Again, just a great feel-good, up-tempo, well-written, well-performed pop song. And you don't get many of those to the pound these days, it seems to me. Or maybe every generation of 50-something blokes has always said that about what's in the hit parade, as we used to call it. But yeah, it's I just like this song. It's just got a good, catchy guitar hook in it. It's up-tempo, feel-good, happy, good time music, and I always thought that this would be an absolute belter as one to throw in the set of the covers band I was in at the time, but once again, didn't get my own way. Seldom ever did, to be honest with you. But Again, if you're not familiar with any of these songs, then go and check them out via the links below. But those are the next 5, or the other 5, or the subsequent 5 songs that have me reaching for the volume control in a positive direction whenever they come on the radio, despite me not owning any kind of hard copy of them. You've probably got a list like this of your own. You know where to leave it down in the comments section below. And that is the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it and found it relatively entertaining. Just beats working, doesn't it? If you can just take 15 minutes out to watch the fat lad in red car. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about stuff. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. Just mention that next week there is the sort of polar opposite of this video. I also did a video following the original one of this one, 5 songs that have me reaching for the mute button. So there's another one of those coming up next week. So if you like a bit of a ranty video, check that one out. But for now, I'll wish you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.